Today I'm going to be showing you how I line bags, and this is just the demonstration bag. It can be any shape or size. This is how I do it no matter what size. I do recommend using a jersey knit fabric instead of cotton because the added stretch leaves more room for mistakes, and it also doesn't fray like cotton, so there's less sewing in the long run. So I just take my fabric and I fold it in half, and of course you want it to be big enough for your bag. And then I just line up the bottom of my bag with the fold at the bottom. And I just set it right on top. And then I'm just going to carefully cut around the shape of the bag. You can pin it and all that if you want, but it's really just as easy to do it this way. So carefully cut around the bag. And if I had any excess at the top, I would cut that off too. I just didn't for this. And then I'm going to unbutton my bag here and open up the mouth of the bag and fold it down. And then I'm just going to mark where that is. So I'm going to pin my fabric at the level of the mouth of the bag. And of course, we're not going to sew up the top yet, so I want to make sure that I don't sew that part shut. And then you're just going to be sewing along these side seams. So I'm going to add some more pins so that I can take it to my sewing machine and sew this up. So now we're going to sew the side seams from here to here and stop. So of course we're leaving that at the top open, so I'm going to start at the level of where I pinned, and I'm just going to sew all the way down to the area of the fold. And then I'm going to repeat that to the other side. And then here's the opening of the bag. And we're going to clean up the opening of the bag. So we're going to fold the sides of the mouth first and pin those in place. So we're not worried about the very top yet. We're just pinning the sides here. It does not have to be perfect. That's the beauty of this fabric. And then you're just going to start at any side that you want and start sewing them down. So that's what it should look like, and you're going to just repeat it to the other side. And that's what the sides should look like. And then now I'm going to pin the top down just a little bit. Because it was the exact size of my bag when I cut it out, I'm not folding down a lot. I'm just folding down enough. So I'm going to sew this part down. And again, because this fabric is stretchy, I don't have to fold it down twice because it isn't going to fray. So that's what it should look like. And then I'm going to lay this down and make sure it's the same. So I'm going to fold that down, but I want it to be the same exact level as the other side. So I laid it flat and lined it up, and then now I'm going to pin it in place. And take it to your sewing machine and sew it down. Now I'm going to cut all the little threads so that it looks nice. And we're going to put it inside the bag. We're done with the sewing machine. So here's what it should look like. I'm going to shove it inside my bag here. It should be the exact size. And we're going to line up the corners and then pin it into place. I'm lining it up to that cream row right there, which is the last row of my bag. So once you get that lined up, we're going to hot glue it to the bag. Believe it or not, it works great. So I'm going to start at the corners. This is very important. I'm going to start at the very corner, and don't use too much hot glue. If you do, it will squeeze to the front and it's going to show up and look tacky. You don't want it to look tacky, so don't use too much. Try to use just enough. So as you can see, I'm doing each corner first. And then I'm going to work up the sides before I do the very top. And now I do the very top last. And then you just kind of pull on it and make sure that it's secure before moving on, because you don't want it to come apart. And then I just repeat it to the other side. So this is what it should look like. It looks very professional and it is very easy. So once you've hot glued that down, you're ready to move on with whatever else you're doing in your bag. This is actually another YouTube video that I have for how to make this bag. If you'd like to make it, you can check the description box or click the link above. I hope that you enjoyed this tutorial today. If you did, please give it a thumbs up. And if you haven't already, please subscribe to my YouTube channel. Thank you so much for watching.